is very synchronous that you're here right now, because today I'm talking about synchronicity. Let's get right into it. When understanding the idea of synchronicity, it's important to understand that synchronicity is something that is naturally happening all of the time. The degree to which we understand this depends upon how much realization we have. The more realization that we have, the more that we're actually able to see it. So, when it comes to the idea of synchronicity, let's first off understand at a very fundamental core concept, what is it? Synchronicity are things that happen in our lives that may seem like they have no logical understanding to why they happened, but they have meaning. Now let's understand a little bit more about how synchronicity happens and what we can do to get ourselves more in alignment with that energy so that we can actually experience it consciously, because it's something's pretty cool to experience. Well, synchronicity happens because at a deeper level, we are all connected. Sounds deep, kind of is deep, I know that, but the idea is that when we really begin to understand that we are all connected to each other, that even though we are born, we're given some name that is us, and then everyone else is given names, and then that's like them, we assume that we're all separate people, but we're actually connected. The way that I think of it is there's like a web that connects every single one of us. We might not physically see it, but the idea is that we're all connected, and at a deeper level, because of that connection, we understand that the situations in our life, the people that we meet, are all synchronous, are all in synchronicity to us. Just depends upon how we are thinking, and if our realization is there that that is a synchronicity to begin with. Now, the idea is that there are certain things that I've done, certain things especially more recently that I've come to understand that have really allowed me to be more synchronous in life. Now, what are those? Well, the first one is a very simple idea, and I've talked about it in a couple videos, but once again, it's such a powerful idea that if we do it, everything else falls into place. The idea is behind being present and aligned in the moment. If we are aligned in the moment, it is much more probable that we will actually see it, that synchronicity, because we are actually there to acknowledge it. If we are here now but projecting ourselves to the future, we are diluting our thought process, and we are not actually able to be present to see that. If we are projecting ourselves to the past, the idea is that then we are existing and projecting ourselves in a way where we might not even see that synchronicity, because once again, we're diluting it a little bit in a way. Now, also understanding that synchronicity is about being spontaneous. It happens through spontaneity. Now think about it. Some people get meaning and see meaning in numbers. So if they see the numbers like 11:11, it's 11:11 a.m. If they see that, they might have meaning to that. The idea is that it needs to spontaneously happen. You're just like cooking your meal or doing whatever you're doing, then you look over to the clock and you see it, and you're like, wow, that's so synchronous. That wouldn't really exist if you sat there at 11 o'clock and checking the clock every 30 seconds to see what time it is, to see, is it 11:11 yet? The idea is that you really then wouldn't give that meaning, because it wouldn't be happen spontaneously. Now, the idea then is that if we stay present to the moment, if we allow the moment to be, we're much more likely to actually feel that connection to everybody. Being present to the moment does help you feel connection to everybody. The idea is that if we do that, we're then actually going to acknowledge that synchronicity because we are present here and now. Now, the other part of this is also in the same exact category of alignment, but it's aligning to our higher purpose. It's aligned to our higher purpose with the intention is, as we do that, that synchronicity acts as a guidance system that is telling us that if we go in this direction, if we continue to do these things, then we'll see more of that synchronicity. Now, fundamentally, sometimes I'm actually kind of reluctant to use this terminology, but I'll use it just so I can get this idea across. It's the idea of understanding our correlation with our higher mind or our higher self, and then understanding the correlation with our physical self or our ego self. The idea is that we are still our higher mind or our higher self. The idea is that our higher self or our higher mind has more general overview of who we are and the things and the paths that we can go in our life. The idea is that we are giving guidance, we are giving these synchronicities so that we can choose and determine to use those as tools, as signs towards direction, towards knowing where to go. The way that I like to think about it is kind of like this. Our higher self, our higher mind, the higher consciousness is on top of a mountain. And on that mountain, us, can look down from that higher view, that higher perspective, and see us in the valley down below. Now, where our path is to get up to that, to our destination, they can see better overview of where we should go. Physically, we might think this is the best route, but if we go in a direction and say a bridge is broken that's trying to get us to a certain destination, our higher self might give us some type of synchronicity, some type of intuitive nudge that tells us to go in a different direction. Say, hey, maybe instead of going over that bridge, go a little bit around it. Even though it seems longer, go around it, because then what will happen is even though it seems like longer, you'll actually get there quicker because you won't have to then backtrack once you get to that broken bridge. The idea is that if we trust those nudges, if we trust those synchronicities and we take them as signs, what we can then do is move more fluidly through life because we are more in alignment with that guidance system of our higher mind, our higher self, our higher consciousness. Really, it's whatever we want to call it. I'm just using these labels as a tool so that we can kind of understand more about the tool of synchronicity and being in alignment with ourselves. Now, the idea is that the more that we become in alignment with it, the better things will pan out for us. And that's really something that we all want. We all want to feel more in alignment, and we all want to feel like things are flowing more fluidly through our life. So even me in my own life, especially recently, as I become more in tune with my higher purpose, what makes me feel good, it's been so much easier for me to be in alignment with it because I understand that the feeling of excitement, like when I do these videos, for example, right now, here with you, I feel so good. And one of those reasons is because my body's translation of that guidance is excitement. So I keep doing it because it makes me feel excitement. All that is me listening through that synchronicity, me listening and using that guidance system to taking action. The idea is also, even more recently, I've seen more and more things that have happened where mentors have offered to help me. People that have like expensive camera equipment are like, hey, I will film you doing what you're doing. Just let me know when. I'll do it for free even. Things like that have happened, and it's been awesome because it's coming out of logically not making sense, but I know that it's because I'm in alignment with my higher purpose and I'm in alignment with the present moment, and because of that, things are just manifesting themselves for me. Now, what I encourage you to do is to find out what your passion is, to be in alignment with yourself, to be congruent to that energy, to take that guidance, and to understand that the more present you are to the moment, the better you're going to feel, and the more you're going to be able to become aware of those synchronicities. So it's literally a win-win-win all the way around. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video today. Feel free to like and subscribe below. And other than that, I'll see you synchronistically on the next video. You guys have a great day. Much love. Bye.